Hello, my name is Jacob Toddson and welcome back to the Wisdom of Odin. Today I'm starting a brand new series talking about how to live a more spiritual life. And the reason I'm talking about this series is because in April I spent 30 days in England's most pagan town, Glastonbury. Now I covered Glastonbury last year and it really took me away, but I only stayed 24 hours. And so I knew I always wanted to go back in order to explore everything this town had to offer. And not only did I get to spend 30 days there, I put myself through 30 days of challenges to try to live the most spiritual life. And when many of us think about spirituality, paganism, New Age religions, or simply alternative religions, especially for those of us growing up in the United States, one of the first things that come to mind to us is meditation and Buddhism. And for myself, it was no different. But even after 2 years of calling myself a Buddhist, I never really got meditation. So why do I struggle with it so much? Well, this is what I was trying to figure out by forcing myself to do it for 30 days. So in this video, we're going to explore meditation, whether or not it really can lead to a more spiritual life. Now, normally I like to give a big history section here, but at the end of the day, I think most of you know what meditation is. I think most people in the world are aware of meditation. But the image of meditation is often of the Zen Buddhist monk meditating under a waterfall or on top of a mountain. And I think it's this image that stops a lot of us from doing it, particularly people who follow this channel who are into the Scandinavian, into the Celtic, into the Northern European. We think that meditation, it's so far east that it's not for us, but I don't think this is necessarily correct. I think in every single religion in the world, there is evidence to suggest some form of meditative practice. Now, was it necessarily a Buddhist monk meditating on a mountain for everyone? Not necessarily. But even in the Scandinavian, we have the concept of the Utasita. Now, an Utasita is kind of ambiguous because we don't know what it really was. We don't have an extensive knowledge about what an Utasita is. I think the concept of sitting out and clearing the mind so you may receive the messages of the divine or receive the messages of the self or cleanse the self. I think this is something that belongs to everyone, and every single culture, every single religion has a different flavor of meditation. And so why do we still keep ourselves from doing it? Why do I suffer and keep myself from doing it? Because to me, meditation is something we know that makes our lives better. It's something that doctors admit make our lives less stressful. It's something that I think humans understand is good for us. So why do we struggle so much? And I think that's because we live in a world of distraction. We live in a world counter to the idea of meditation. And it did take a place like Glastonbury to get me to actually do it. So let's explore how that actually went. But hey, before we move too far along into this conversation of Glastonbury, did you know that I actually wrote a book about Glastonbury called The Glastonbury Tourist, and it's out now on Amazon. You can check it out for yourself. This book isn't exactly like a memoir of my time in Glastonbury. It is a fiction, but all the events and things that have happened are all lessons that I have learned and witnessed within the spiritual journey that I've been on. This is the book for you. I think you'll really enjoy it. It goes directly to supporting me as a content creator. And I think for those on a spiritual journey, it'll hopefully have a lot of lessons involved as well. But now let's get back to this conversation on meditation and my time in Glastonbury. So, how did 30 days of meditation go? Not that well. And the reason for this is the form of meditation I was trying to use is the traditional Buddhist form of meditation, which is sitting there and trying to cleanse the mind, push things aside, and find the emptiness within yourself. And trying to do this for 30 days, I really committed to it. I really struggled. I struggled to find the time. I struggled to focus on it. And so I'm saying this because I know you've struggled too. If you're watching this video and you've tried to do meditation before, I know you have also struggled. You should not blame yourself because I have done this for 30 days straight in a very spiritual place with very limited distractions, and I failed at it. But I think the reason that I failed and so many other people failed, and the reason that Buddhism wasn't for me, is because enlightenment is very hard to achieve. It's the whole point of it, is it requires a lot of dedication. The path of the Buddha, the true Theravada path, is hard because it requires constant commitment. It requires dedication to the path. And that's why most Buddhists today are not Theravada Buddhists, are not true to the original teachings of the Buddha. They follow Mahayana Buddhism, the great vehicle, which has the concepts of multiple different Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, and other paths and ways to get into enlightenment, and follow the Buddhist teachings. The traditional Buddhist meditation just isn't for me. It could be for you. So what I recommend in this video, now that I have done 30 days of traditional meditation, in the past I did practice Buddhism and I studied Buddhism. And now what I have done is followed the path of shamanism and studied shamanism all around the world. And I have also now completed the Vision Quest. And what the Vision Quest is 3 days of fasting in the mountains, communing with the spirits, communing with the gods. And I have a video about that now. I have a video about the Vision Quest, but also a video about how to do it in a more realistic way. Understanding that most of us can't take 3 days of fasting in the mountains, that most of us just live day to day. That's why I have this other video about it. But the crux of it is that we need more time alone. And to me, this time alone is a form of meditation. But what makes it different, this time alone is not about clearing the mind. It's not about pushing aside those things that come to you. It's about processing the things that are in here, especially the lives we live now. And I live a very good life. And I've lived a very good life in the sense that I don't have any deep traumas. And so what I have to process is lighter than most, and I'm very grateful for that. But my life still requires a lot of processing. All of our lives do. We've all had struggles. We've all had hard things. And so people that have gone through worse things than I, people that have gone through such tragedies, have a lot more to process, and it takes a lot more time. And so giving yourself the time to process those things, to me, is the importance of meditation. And I think every single day, you should take 20 to 30 minutes of processing time, a type of meditation where you go somewhere where you're completely alone and you can just be with your thoughts. No distraction, toss aside that phone, turn it off, no music, no books, no video games, no TV, and you just sit there and you process your life. You process the tragedies, you process the good. You hold into those moments, you slow down time. Because one thing I definitely learned in that Vision Quest of 3 days alone in the mountains, starving, is every day has so much time in it. So much damn time. And we need that carving out 20 to 30 minutes to just sit and be with yourself and be with your thoughts and be with the spirits of the world. To me, this is the meditation that most people need to do. And for those of you who are like, oh, I don't have such a beautiful place, Jacob. Oh, you must be in Japan. You must be somewhere so beautiful. I'm in Kentucky right now. This is in Kentucky. I think a lot of people I know don't know places like this exist. Like, everywhere you live, you can find something kind of unique and weird. Just open your eyes, expand your horizons, and try to seek new things and new experiences, which is also something I'm going to be talking about in this series, is saying yes to new things and expanding your horizons no matter where you are. And if you enjoyed this series, I have many more videos to come. I have a video talking about yoga. I have a video talking about cold exposure, trance and ritual, the importance of saying yes and trying new things, digital detoxing, a lot of different things, all to come together into one video discussing how to live the most spiritual life possible. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video here at the Wisdom of Odin.